Alright, Dager Bishop here, and today I wanted to talk to you a bit about, well, obviously politics, because regardless of whether you like politics, trust me, I don't. I hate talking about politics, I hate having to discuss politics, I hate having to research into politics and different political figures, and I hate politicians in general. But here's the problem. Whether you like politics or not, whether you are interested in politics or not, politics are very interested in you. If for no other reason than to one day hope to manipulate you. And of course that mostly just means the politicians themselves are trying to do that. Now currently, the mainstream news cycle especially is insanely biased towards one political ideology. Regardless of who has to be sacrificed, regardless of who has to be lied about, regardless of who has to be slandered, misrepresented, and who outright has to have their character assassinated. Mainstream media can and always will side with the left. That goes for a lot of these online pundits too. You got your MSNBC, you got your Guardian, you got all that other stuff. All these multi-million-dollar corporate media shills, basically. Well, I say shills because honestly none of them represent the common man or woman out there. You very much included who are watching this video probably. They will gladly sacrifice you on the altar of their politics and beliefs. So don't think for a second that and this actually goes for the right too, like, you got your Fox News and all that other stuff. You honestly think these people speak for you? At the end of the day, they just do what gives them their paycheck. I can't really blame them for doing that, because, duh, everybody's got to eat. But for you to think for even 1 second that they represent you, no. I suggest gathering your sources gathering your information from several different sources, as independent as possible. Realize, of course, that everybody has their own biases, and will absolutely if even without thinking, put their own spin on it. Not usually intending to, mind you. They usually just want, a lot of them actually do want to try and be, at least marginally independent. At least try to be largely unbiased. Obviously that doesn't always work, but hey, we're only human, we can at least try. Or I should say, they at least try. which is more than you'll see out of some corporate hack who sits in an office all day expelling the approved opinions of others. Let's just put it that way. So why am I even saying all this? Why am I even making this video if I know that even I have my own biases? Well, to put it bluntly, the reason I have my own the reason I would say that I would advise you to be knowledgeable about the world around you, especially in the realm of politics, is because it helps to know exactly what the people in power think of you and think you should be doing, what your life should be like, what ideals they think you should aspire to. And no, these people do not give a damn about your free will. Now, a lot of times this is on the right too, but these days it's mostly about the left because they're in power. Make no mistake, regardless of which side's in power, there's always going to be that fringe that wants to censor and hush up any criticism because they don't have the actual argument. Eventually a day will come when it's going to be the right that's in power and they'll try to do the same thing. But today is not that day. Okay, didn't see that guy. But in any case, the point is, basically, you have to always, you might to yourself wonder, well, why is everything happening the way it's happening? Why are these people doing this? Why are these, why is, say, this site's shutting down, or why are specific things happening? Crap. Well, obviously you gotta take a look at the politics involved. I can't honestly say I know everything for sure. I don't. There's only so many hours in a day to be able to actually consume information, and I can't possibly be asked to absorb all of it. Like I'm not Batman or something where I can just almost through osmosis absorb all the information in the world. But I do make a point of trying to be knowledgeable about at least what affects me the most. And that's really all you can do. Be knowledgeable about what might actually affect you. Like, do you go to sites to espouse your own opinions about things? Do you make video content? Do you even use dating apps? Basically anything to do with social interaction. And what you can and cannot say when you do so. What questions can you ask? What opinions do you seem to be allowed to take? Or should I say, what opinions do you see are the main ones everyone seems to be talking about? I'll give you an example. Take the whole Me Too movement. How there have been this slew of accusations against celebrities and people in power. Now, I always found that pretty interesting. Okay, at first I didn't think anything of it. I'll admit. I didn't. Why? Because I thought, celebrity gossip, crap like that, whatever. I don't pay attention to celebrities all that much, since all of them have the same prefabricated opinions these days anyway. I mean, why would I care? But then, of course, I traced it back to what's been happening in the legal system a lot. You know, why would all these people be getting accused? And who are their accusers? Well, in the case of their accusers, I mean, patient zero, obviously, of this was Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, I kind of hate that guy, honestly. But not for anything close to what the accusations say he did. No. The reason I hate him is because of what he did to the Crow City of Angels. That's a topic for another time. But the point is, I looked into this. I was like, oh, okay. So he was part of the casting couch culture. Women sleeping with powerful men to get them roles and try and launch their careers. Some cases it works, some cases it doesn't. I didn't think much of it because I thought, okay, whatever. Nothing new here. Well, especially knowing that this happens all the time. You know, people rub shoulders with other powerful people to get things done that they want. In this case, they do a bit more than rub shoulders. Instead, they bump uglies, but hey. Again, nothing new. But then, of course, I see that all of these accusations just start coming out. And And it's all men who are successful, all men who are, wealthy and may have possibly benefited from their power, from their hard work. Now, I did a video on this a while ago, the whole Me Too thing and how it was going to end up backfiring. Basically, I have been proven right in the fact that now men are like, oh shit, yeah, I might need to just protect myself from this psycho. Because I even just piss, because if I even just offend her, she can make a false allegation. Wow. Okay. Oh, sorry, the game sometimes accelerates your fight for your life to make sure you die. It's a stupid idea, but hey. Basically, basically my just take on the whole thing was similar to that of mutually assured destruction, which is men will avoid women like the plague for the most part, not mentor them, not give them the leg up in this world, never be seen alone with them, or should I never be alone with them for any length of time. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Anyway. That they would all adopt a lot of cautionary measures. And I was right. Well, of course I was right. And I don't say that to be arrogant, I just say that as a statement of, well, it's cause and effect. There is danger, therefore, people's natural instinct is to shy away from said danger. Try to avoid it. Only those with, let's face it, very low, how should I say, survival instincts will happily charge into danger like this. I mean, there's a difference between bravery and stupidity. And just willfully charging in to say, oh, well, I just trust her. Yeah. No, I honestly can't see why people would think that this is, unforeseen, shall I say. That's the law of the universe. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And that's why you need to be aware of the world around you. To return to the original topic. Now, some people like to point out, as far as, voting and everything. Because I heard a while back about this whole push where, teenagers and everything should be listened to as far as, policy and everything goes. And they try and put up pictures of, you know, some of the greats like George Washington and all that. When they were teenagers and doing what they did. Yeah, there's a problem with that. People are not naturally as worldly as they used to be. I mean, back in the age, you know, before abundance and technology, you had to know exactly what was going on around you. You had to have a pulse in the world. Because your very life usually depended on it. I mean, part of me thinks that over the past years, well, actually, some people do suggest that ever since the Victorian era, that the average IQ has gone down about 10 points, which, given our current inability to rationalize, I would tend to agree. And that's why it is very important for you to be open-minded, not to the point of your brain's falling out, basically, as they say, which is to say, yes, be open-minded, but don't just take everything at face value. The only for one of my biases, the reason I don't trust younger people usually in what they say, and even older people to an extent, is I just see them regurgitating the information that's been spoon-fed to them by, you know, the popular opinion. You know, it's fashionable to label everyone who doesn't agree with every liberal policy or a leftist policy, or just people that might even just be center right or center left. You know, they don't really have a strong sway one way or another. For some reason, it's popular to decry those people as, you know, Nazis. I mean, honestly, it's one of the most overused terms of the decade. It really is. What in the fuck is going on here? Oh, okay. Now, obviously, this applies to people who are on the right as well. People that are motivated by ideology rather than, you know, their own opinions. People who are easily influenced. That's the reason I tend to just do things my own. Tend to take every single opinion with a grain of salt. Because that is the best way to come to an actual sound conclusion. Now, this is actually one of the core tenets of things like the Enlightenment. Was the idea, well, you can question everything and should question everything. And I would tend to agree. But don't just ask the questions that make you feel comfortable, that you're comfortable in asking. Ask the questions of, okay, I believe this, but are the reasons I believe this grounded in reality? Or is it just my preference to believe this? Going back to the Me Too accusations, one could believe that all of those accusations are 100% true. That, yes, because all these people are making these accusations against this one person, obviously some of them have to be true. Right? Right? No. No. As my father used to say, one lies and the other one swears to it. And false accusations are no different. Political ideologies are no different. I just don't understand how anybody can just take information at face value and think, oh yeah, that, or from the latest news cycle or outrage cycle, and say, oh yeah, this is perfectly valid, no need to investigate further. I don't understand that. And then, of course, there are, some acquaintances I know online. I keep them around because of the fact I know they disagree with me. They help keep me grounded in the fact that there are other perspectives. Even if I think some of those perspectives are horseshit sometimes. Because I know that the opinions they hold feed into their own bias. Or the opinions that they'll believe feed into their bias. Now, why would I keep such people around? Like on my friends list and actually talk to them? Well, because it reminds me of how lost I can become. Say, for example, I used to be this very cold, calculating person when it came to the idea of relationships and how that dynamic should play out. I thought, okay, well, everything is just about authority, everything's just about power, everything's just about numbers, basically. And yeah, I've gotten lost down here. Shit. So, obviously, everything should just be about authority and responsibility. That works to an extent. Now, how I used to tie it together was, well, okay, whoever pays the most in the terms of bills, whoever has the most responsibility for keeping a roof over the head, they're the ones with all the authority, and the other party is taken care of, yes, but is also just along for the ride. Because that's how it would work in the business world. Whoever has to foot the bills, whoever has to take the most responsibility. And to an extent, I still believe that. Whoever has the most responsibility would actually have the say as far as how things are done in a relationship. But there is also still the human element to take into account. We're not just machines, so that can't be 100% the way it's done. It's actually much more complex than that, but that's the thing. Once I actually started questioning, well, why do I believe this? Well, the answer is that because of the way relationships seem to be going these days, I thought, well, what's the one way to solve it? Well, I personally thought that the one way to solve everything, as far as relationships goes, was just to make it so, okay, whoever pays the most bills, whoever, has all the most responsibility, they get all the say, and the other party is just along for the ride. The other person, yes, of course, has some say in how things are done. Obviously, everyone has a personal autonomy. But as far as how actual spending and everything goes, because that's actually the number one reason for divorces is money. Who makes more, who doesn't. And usually, and this is the odd part, that's always the biggest point of contention too. That's one of the biggest points of contention too, is who makes the most. And of course. Alright. So, let's get this done, throw this out. It's my conclusion these days that it's actually much more complicated. And that I don't have all the answers right now. I have a concept, more or less, right now. But that's the thing. I questioned my conclusions, and my conclusion is I have a piece of the puzzle. I don't have the whole thing figured out. I suppose that's just me. I like to actually solve. I see problems and I like to solve them. I like to know what I'm talking about, or that I'm getting into. I know as far as politics goes, you could probably say, well, ignorance is bliss. Or, you could just go along with what everybody else says. Or you could just try and remain neutral and never get involved. But honestly, if you wake up one day and have to wonder how the hell things got to the point they are, well, honestly, I don't think you'd have a right to complain if you didn't bother to learn in the first place why things are happening the way they are and how maybe to course correct. So that's my advice. You may not like it, but you need to be worldly. You need to understand what's going on around you. Yep. Fuck you too. The way as volatile as this world is, one cannot afford to just sit on the sidelines and just think, oh, well, you know, these people, they'll all solve the problem because that's their job. Well, some people are actually very shit at their job, and those people are in power. So, yeah. Because that's the idea of a politician, really. Politicians are supposed to be those people, okay, we will... The idea of a politician basically is, okay, I have devoted my entire life, or to say, I will devote my entire life to being worldly, to knowing about the issues, and making decisions based on what's best for the people. But a lot of politicians don't do that. So then that's the reason you got independent content creators, independent journalists, and independent political, researchers. That's the reason you have, that's the reason people like me are starting to ask questions. The reason people like me are suggesting, no, I don't think that's how it works. And lo and behold, it turns out that the people that we trusted to actually be worldly, to actually look out for our best interests, a lot of times they're not. They're looking out for their own interests. And whatever problems And whatever problems you may have, be damned. Now, I don't know about you, but finding that out for myself made me a fair bit perturbed, I'll say. I don't know, maybe scorned would be the correct term. In any case, that's why I do all the research I do now. That's why I look into the matters at hand. That's why when people say, oh, you just don't know, you're just ignorant on the subject or anything, it's like, no, I actually put the concerted effort to to look into these things through as many different sources as possible. And of course, having to sift through the bias of each article, the videos. Yeah, it's taxing. No wonder a lot of these politicians decide just to be lazy and promote themselves. Because actually being good at their job would require, putting a lot of hours into it. So that's what I'm saying. For your own sake, and so you can actually have a legitimate say in everything that's going on. I suggest you do your research, be worldly, and don't just go off of whatever happens to be the approved opinion. Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, I thought so. Until next time, I have been Jaeger Bishop. And remember, always ask that question. Do I believe what I believe because I have done the research and know all the facts? Or is it just because it comes from some place? Or should I say that it just happens to be an opinion that comes from someone I like, or supposedly speaks from authority? Introspection, people. That's all I gotta say. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share this with your friends. And of course, do leave a donation to the PayPal link in the description below. As well as feel free to follow me on my social media. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.